rest of my life, rest of my life, rest of my life, rest of my forever. Yeah, this is my job for the rest of my life, the rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life, the rest of my life. This is my job for the rest of my life, the rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life. Telling the truth, rest of my life. Loving the most high, all of my life. Rest of my life, rest of my life, rest of my life. Yeah. I'm standing my ground. The truth is the weapon, please don't Malcolm X me. They shunning the message and killing the messenger. All over words, it must be the truth that I'm telling. These devils offended, you call it they trash. Don't buy up the shit that they sellin'. They label you bad, got no release of the flags. Know what they hide, know that my homeland ain't where I reside. Ayy, who am I kid? I'm speaking to ears that never do listen. You gotta be talking them digits, helping the children. Principal mission, I am a pediatrician. I'm done with this story, get it this story. Brother, I'm doing my story, cause we are the people. I'd rather be better, never that equal. The feelings is mutual, ain't speaking no evil. Examine your leader, not doing religion. I'm open with politics, calling me so controversial. They say I'm too rough, but spit is so eloquent, like I've been spitting in curses. Their business is personal, won't charge you for food, won't do what a church do. I do what a nurse do. I call on the doctor and wait on my number. Forever I'm humble, I live with my shame. Let me die with some honor. 100. This is my job for the rest of my life. The rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my life. The rest of my life. This is my job for the rest of my life. The rest of my life. This is the job for the rest of my telling the truth. Rest of my life. Loving the most high. All of my life. Rest of my life. Rest of my life. Rest of my life. Rest of my life. Yeah, whew. My coach, family, yeah, for real, whew. Yeah, how you gon' say we relate when we can never relate? How you gon' say we relate when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? Who is my mother, my brother? They do the will of my father. I studied the law like a lawyer. Applying the law make it royal. The world is so overrated. I don't see what is the biggie. Everybody said they made it, cause they spent a couple pennies. Piece of who will give me plenty. Negative, get a shit. You should learn how to look. Who the true, who the crook. If it's right, why you hiding? Who said be a lie? Death is lurking, but I'm driving. Had to switch on the brights. Nobody's playing somebody's. Hey, what's really going on? A pure soul in this body. Couldn't fit it in a clone. They say my face is like a stone. Tell them all I mean business. Everybody say you're wrong before they ever take a list. If it's yours, I don't want it. I don't touch it unless I own it. You should get up by your who. All that other stuff is phony. Lost religion, found a coach. No explain, watch me do it. Watch the fire, it'll roast you. Grown man should've known it. How you gon' say we relate when we can never relate? How you gon' say we relate when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? How you gon' say we related when we can never relate? never relate.
All right, shalom, 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 y'all. I'm Michael Israel. You are watching Spiritual Combat, and today's show, as you can see by the title, is developing a spirit of boldness. What I'm kind of doing with this show is just kind of building off that live stream I tried to do while I was on the road, and it kept going in and out. Um, and so I'm gonna elaborate on some stuff that while I was doing that live stream, I just kind of saw some stuff in the comments that made me realize, you know, I was like, man, I haven't taught on this in a while. It took me way back to back when I had first came into this truth. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, it's gonna be a good one here, cause I was just thinking about some of the stuff I had talked about in that live, and just reflecting on some things, and I was like, man, I really when I first started spiritual combat, a couple years back or whatever, I used to hit on this stuff a lot. So we're going to get back into it because I've seen it a lot. All right. And that's developing a spirit of boldness. Um, you have a lot of people, even leaders in the Hebrew community, that teach us. They subliminally, unknowingly teach a spirit of passivity. Christianity teaches a spirit of passivity, and we're gonna show that is not the way. All right, so I'm gonna look for a scripture real quick, and while I'm looking for the scripture, I see everybody's in the comments, and like I told y'all yesterday, I found. Hey, look, I found a feature on YouTube so powerful. If somebody act up in the comments there, we ain't gonna just block your shot. We're gonna escort you out the stadium and then lock you out. So yeah. But anyway, I found a way to make the trolls truly a thing of the past. So that's good. But let me find this scripture. All right, there we go. All right, let me see. All right, so I think I found it. All right, it was one of the. All right, numbers. All right, but yeah, in regard, so the lesson I did yesterday, and I want to say shalom to everybody in there. Shalom to Brother Warren from the UK. All right. Brother Wyland, shalom to you. Brother Cedric, shalom. Sister Lena, shalom. Koi is in there. Say everybody say shalom to Sister Koi. She's in there doing the moderation thing. Shalom to Sister Hannah. Brother Ryan, shalom to you. Brother Charles, shalom. Good to see you in there. Elder Rufus, shalom to you. Sister Chrissy, shalom. And Brother Bino, Shalom. Good to see you in there. The Jerry. Shalom. Terrence. I'm going to call you Foxworth. Shalom. Shabbat shalom. Kristen. Shalom. There we go. Brother Ray. Shalom. All right. So what we're going to do here is let me go to the bottom. Okay. So yeah, we're going to go, I think it's going to be Numbers 14. Yeah. We're going to start at Numbers 13. We're going to go towards, it's going to be towards the end. And you're going to see, as usual, nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, Brother Rebirth. Nice meeting. Yep, that meeting in Atlanta was awesome. Like I said, and we got another one coming up right here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I understand, like, because we got people in South Florida, so that understand just to get from Miami to Jacksonville is 6 hours. Because I've driven from Homestead, Florida, I think it was, all the way up to Atlanta, to the Atlanta area. And that's almost a 12-hour drive, believe it or not. Yep. So anyway, we're doing one here, then Dallas, and other places. Straightway KC, shalom to y'all. Okay, all right. I'll definitely check that out, brother. All right. So what we're gonna do? So yeah, we're gonna go to Numbers 13 here. Okay, Numbers 13. So they had sent out their men to scope out the land, and here's a report they brought back. Now, mind you, you know what I'm saying? Come on, phone. Everything on? All right, there we go. I'm just silencing everything so there's no interruptions, okay? So, when they went and they scoped the land out, during that time, they knew who they were. They spoke the Hebrew. They knew the history. They were the Most High Yah was dealing with them. You know what I'm saying? What I'm doing is I'm ruling out. They had male heirs, bloodline lineage. You know what I'm saying? Because you hear all this stuff being taught out here. And I'm going to show you a bunch of scriptures, you know, just simple stuff, simple surface stuff that rules out a lot of the rhetoric, a lot of noise you hear out here being taught as almost like salvation. Like some so you have some ministries that'll teach like lineage and identity as salvation. You know what I'm saying? Have other ministries that will teach passivity as salvation. Okay, you got you got everything in between. When you go back and you read the scriptures, it doesn't say anything like that. Okay. All right. So We're gonna let's roll with it though. Y'all, you'll see what my point is. Um, it says, and this is Numbers chapter 13, verse. Uh, I guess we'll start at verse 30. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, "Let us go up at once." And all right, wait, hold on. Okay. Okay, we're going to start at 27. Actually, we'll start at 25. It says, "And they returned from searching of the land after 40 days. And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Pardon and Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land." Okay? Let me make this, I'm going to make this big so y'all can see it on the screen. All right? Yeah, I'll put it up here for y'all. Let me make it a little. There we go. All right. So, and the fruit of the land. And they told him and said, "We came unto the land whither thou sent us." Why'd that thing move? Where thou sent us, and surely it flowed with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. So they bought. All right, let me put that on. There we go. And this is the fruit of it. All right. Nevertheless, so here they go. Now, mind you, they're not where we are at today, where they don't. We're coming into our understanding. We're getting a proper biblical understanding of the book. We're coming back into our culture, this, that, and other. No, they got their history, their culture, and all this stuff that from handed down from their forefathers. Everything is real. You know what I'm saying? They fully they got their language. That's why all these people want to argue about, no, the proper pronunciation is this, and you ain't gonna have no power in this. Dude, you see our people fully walking in the culture in the book, and they still wrestling with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that because, especially me, and I know I got a lot of new people following me, but if you don't know, out here in the Hebrew Israelite community, man, you got a lot of people sitting here saying it's this, they're saying it's that, they're saying it's the other. It's all this little surface level stuff where when you go back here, you read in the book, they're doing all these things that these people are pushing to say this is truly walking with the Most High, but they still stumbling. So look, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to get back to it. So it says, and they told him, we're at 28. "Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land." They still don't have faith. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? They done seen the Most High show up, show out. They've seen the miracles. They've been brought out of Egypt, and they still, like, after you seen that, who cares? I don't care how big somebody is or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be on something else. Yeah, you gonna be like, hey, I'm rolling with the Most High Yah. It's gonna be like, I fear nothing on this planet. But that's not how these people are talking here. Look, listen. "Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites at Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, "Let us see." He had the right. He had that spirit. He said, "Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome." Okay? But the men that went up with him said, "We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we." And mind you, after all that they've seen. You see what I'm saying? It's like, so look, let me keep reading. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, "The land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sights as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight." Okay? So look at what happens next. You know, a lot of y'all know, but then we're gonna get into this. So first verse of chapter 14, it says, "And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night." Daggone, they cried themselves to sleep. You see what I'm saying? Cried themselves. They literally wept. You see what I'm saying? And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, "Would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in the wilderness?" Look, man. And you can see this, Sister Lena. I appreciate that contribution. All praises. You can see this spirit of kind of rebellion, of just not getting it, and what it really is a spirit of stubbornness, a spirit of not being willing to see and understand. You can see that on our people to this day. You can see it. Period, point blank, plain and simple. Okay? It's right there on in a lot of ways, and one of the ways is we lack a spirit of boldness, and we definitely have to develop that. All right, so let me show you. I'm not gonna go to it, but it's something that I'm sure y'all are aware of. Is when you go over there, and Goliath again. The Most High is on display. We have our culture. We are in the time. We're speaking the Hebrew. We got a total biblical understanding. You know what I'm saying? It's at a time where we're fully in our heritage, everything. Okay, and the whole army of Israel is scared, and one man comes down. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't shock me today when I see a widespread and there's not a spirit of boldness. And in fact, you got ministries out here that teach against having a spirit of boldness. You have a society that teaches passivity. They're out here and they castrate the men. Okay, so we're gonna look into that. We're gonna speak on that because that's gonna bring me to what I'm gonna be teaching on today, and that is like me growing up. This is some of the stuff I was hitting on yesterday. I had a spirit of boldness in me, but because I was involved in Christianity, because of this society, it constantly tries to beat that out of you. Um, and a lot of times when it's like that, a lot of times a spirit of pride will raise up and it'll prevent you from looking at it and seeing that you're wrestling with a spirit, a Ahab spirit, a spirit of fear, okay, a spirit of being timid. So let me go on here. All right, let's see. All right, we're gonna pull up. Now, why is this? Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. All right. So, one of the one of the things you see a lot of people wrestling with today is, and that I was speaking on yesterday in that lesson I did, was just personal interaction. For lack of a better word, being an introvert, the introvert spirit, which is a spirit of, to a certain extent, a spirit of fear, spirit of being timid. Like me, for instance, because that's why I kind of jumped around with it. But with me, I actually prefer to be alone. You know what I'm saying? By myself, off to myself in my thoughts. But I have no problem in public settings and stuff like that. But it wasn't always that way. And let me pull up these scripts real quick. There we go. All right. Bible. So yeah. All right. All right, there we go. I got my scripts. But like I was saying, all the way up until the when I was talking yesterday, all the way up until the age of about 26 years old, I wrestled with a spirit of fear, just a typical spirit. And the way it manifested, it was just when it came to relationships and dealing with women, approaching women, being in a relationship, how I saw women, because I looked at all women as perfect princesses and everything like that, and that actually is not attractive to them. They like, what the Bible says. This is what I was speaking on yesterday. It says the woman is not made, or the man is not made for the woman, but woman is made for the man. And when your relationship with your wife or whoever is set up that way, it begins to operate a lot more effectively. Okay, so let's move forward. So what I put here, all right, hold on. All right. All right, hold on one second. All right, there we go. Right. All right. So when you're when we read over this, when we begin to look at the biblical marriage role, um, the the role of a man and how he is to hit according to the Bible his biblical marriage duty, what you see is, and then you look at a woman's biblical marriage role, and you just read through all those verses, a lot of verses I bring up. And if you have somebody teaching this to you and they're not trying to twist stuff and manipulate the scripture for feminists or in order to encourage a spirit of being timid, what the Bible has written there, just in plain surface level understanding, naturally focuses you into um, uh, biblical masculinity. It focuses you into being into having a spirit of boldness. A woman is she's a barometer and a reflection to how much of a man you really are, a biblically masculine man. So a lot of times when, like I was speaking on yesterday, because the title of that video was I think it was like dealing with a difficult wife or a contentious wife or something like that. A lot of times when men come to me and they got all this crazy stuff going on in their marriages and relationship, of course, the first place I start at is the man. It's like, okay, how much of a man you being? Do you let her jerk you all around like a chain? You know what I'm saying? Are you always trying to explain? Are you treating her like mommy, or are you treating her like wife? You know what I'm saying? So are you treating her like she's above you, or are you treating her like you're her head? Okay, and a lot of times, just through talking, and they'll paint out the marriage dynamics. It's obvious to me. It's like, okay, I see what they got going on. All right, so let's see. All right, we're gonna pull up some scripts, kind of backing this up. All right. One of the things that I always break down is understand people need to get a good understanding of lust, what that is, what affection is, and what love is. Because a lot of times the meanings of those words gets all jumbled up into the same meaning, and a lot of times when men are feeling lust or affection and it's really going up in this society, they teach you to they don't teach you to keep that under control and to prevent that from getting too high. Because what happens if lust or affection get too intense, they begin to blind your spiritual mind, your conscious mind, and everything like that. And then that's where you see a lot of these men. They just ruled by women. It kills their spirit of boldness. And when you put the word of the Most High Yah, when you put Yah in Christ, when you put that ahead of women and marriage, because a lot of times what you find in what these Hebrew organizations subtly and subliminally teach is they teach you to put the woman in front of everything. And it's easy to do in this society because they also tell you that that feeling of affection and that feeling of lust is love. So when they tell you that, you just let that feeling go crazy, and then you wind up in, in a bad situation. You end up worshiping the woman. All right, and that's why you see me run to that verse a lot. Colossians chapter 3, verse 5, it says, "Mortify, therefore, your members which are upon the earth, from fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry." So, inordinate affection, we define that inordinate means unusually or disproportionately large, excessive. And then affection, a feeling of liking and caring. So it says, the Bible is actually telling you to mortify your flesh from that. Because from inordinately and disproportionately large liking and caring for people. It doesn't say don't like or care for people. It's telling you to, when it goes off into the stratosphere, because then it turns into what? Turns into idolatry. And that's what a lot of men do in marriage with their wives. They have this inordinately large affection or feeling for them, and they end up putting them above the book. So then when the wife says something and it goes against the scriptures, well, they'll, okay, well, I'm gonna just do what she say, or I just won't go because I don't want to make her mad, because they have this inordinate affection, this feeling, this liking or caring that is inordinate, unusually, or disproportionately large and excessive, over the top. Why I be harping on that so hard? Because I've watched men and women, but majority, it was only 2 women I've seen, but a whole bunch of they lost their mind over a man because they went into an inordinate affection. This applies to both sides, but I've seen more men because more men are more susceptible. I've watched men kill themselves over women, okay? Because their inordinate affection went out. Hold on. Let me see something. Lust in men. All right. All right. Loss is the... Okay, hold on. I'm just checking something, seeing if I need to boot. Corey, tell me if I need to boot him out the stadium forever, because I can do it now, all right? So anyway, but yeah, I've seen in my life, and that's why I teach on this a lot. I've watched men with attraction, whatever you want to call that word, but just for women, they just let their feelings for that woman go off into the stratosphere. And then they end up killing themselves. 2 of the times that happened, it was a shotgun. One dude hung himself off the door in his barracks room in the military. And in order for him to do that, he had to hold his legs up. So he had to willingly hold his legs up in order to choke himself out by hanging. It's crazy. So he was really hurting, and he was desperate to go. He had that spirit, that Ahab spirit on. And that's why I be telling men, and it just like this verse is telling you right here. It said, mortify your members from inordinate affection. Yeah, I have affection for my wife, my kids, everything around me. But it don't go off into the stratosphere where it turns into what? Listen, what did it tell you? It said, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, from fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness. It says, which is idolatry. All these things are the same thing. This desperate, insane wanting for things, it turns into idolatry. What's idolatry? You putting something else in front of the Most High Yah. That's why I got a problem with a lot of these ministries out here teaching this stuff they teach. Because I mean, they low-key teaching idolatry. That's why they got to twist scripture upside down on all this stuff we talk about. Because, again, it's idolatry. All right? Yeah, hold on. This dude getting ready to get... There. Okay. So anyway, hold on one sec, y'all. All right, that's it. All right. So, all right. Anyway, so, but yeah, that's what we gotta do. Yeah, and the brother came in here. He was saying, and we'll hit that again. That first Ezra's 4:26. You know, that I was reading. We'll bring that up for people who didn't see it, because everybody, the Bible's warning you about where, and all right, we're going to it now. Oh my goodness, these folks. All right. All right, there we go. All right, so what we're at is First Ezra's 4:26, and what it's doing is one of the reason why dealing with this, especially for our men, dealing with women in a proper context, having a proper view of our sisters, of our women, and dealing with them in a proper biblical context in marriage and how you deal with them, meeting women properly, dealing with them, having a proper way that you feel about them. Like when you interact and deal with the women in a proper biblical context, it perfects you as a man in a big way, and it's a big reflection on who you are as a man. Like it's when you do it the proper way, like, because the woman is the main thing Satan uses against you, but it can also be the main thing that the Most High uses to get you in proper biblical order. That's why I can't even teach a lesson on having a spirit of boldness without tying women into it. Like, if you want to know if a man is a bold man or whatever, one of the places you can kind of go to is look at how does he see women. That's why a lot of these ministries that are teaching these crazy doctrines that's coming against me, coming against Straightway, Ron Dalton, all this stuff like that. The thing I look at is, all right, what's their viewpoint on women? And what you find across the board is how they deal with women does not line up with Scripture. It coincides. It's literally hand in hand. Okay? And but because the other thing, the I mean, it's this is so good because it's all through the book. When you look at Adam, when you read all through Genesis, like the thing that's going to be nearest and dearest to a man's heart is the woman. She has women have the power of influence. They can influence you. Okay, so like I'm telling you, as a man, like that's the last unconquered territory. You know what I'm saying? That's the last territory in a lot of men to conquer. You get that aligned, and then you're going to be shaking heavy and moving hard. And Satan knows that. From the very beginning, where'd he go in at? The woman. And to this day, this is what causes the line of division. You come against their God, because I don't care, man. These people call themselves Hebrews. They could call themselves whatever they want to call themselves. A lot of these assemblies, ministries, this, that, and other out here are just Diana worshipers, women worshipers. You know, Beyonce is pushing woman worship high level. That's why they formed a church around her. This society pushes the worship of women. Well, man, I was watching something yesterday. Somebody was talking yesterday. And, but, boy, the stuff that's going on, that's going to be coming out very soon is, I mean, I know, man. I could see some stuff on the horizon that's getting ready to come out that's going to really shake things up big time. Like even this court system scares you, and if a lot of real men have been destroyed by this court system. I've watched men lose their minds going through the court system. Like the court system seeks to legally castrate you as a man. And I've watched dudes lose their mind through the court system. I watched the dude, his wife or his ex-wife raked him through the ringer so hard in court. This is years ago when I was working on bomber planes, and I didn't know any better. Man, it was literally for a year or more. This woman had screwed this man over so hard in the court system that literally for a whole year, that's all you could talk to him about. I mean, he was crazy there for like a year. And the only thing he would talk to you or anybody in the workplace about was how, like, this blah, blah. And they got him so bad in the court. So look, and that goes back to that verse, 1 Ezra 4:26. And like I told y'all, that homework I gave y'all, read 1 Ezra, the whole chapter 3 and the whole chapter 4. Some of the heaviest truth you're going to hit on pertaining to marriage, relationship, and women. All right, so look. Wherein a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. And like I said, you got people out here in typing, they're literally saying, oh, it's a sin to have multiple wives. Oh, and these men want their wives to call them master, when it's right there in the book. These are leaders of ministries and congregations. And that's what I could just remember off my memory. But if you go back and look, these people are saying this, they're saying other stuff. And I've watched them twist where it says the head of the man is Christ and the head of the woman is man. I've watched people go into the Greek and do this, blah, 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 and twist that. These people are evil Because what? They worship women. Like they wife sitting behind them like a puppet manipulating. And they don't see it. It's real, bro. And why? Because they don't have a spirit of boldness. They're scary. And you got to develop a spirit of boldness. How you develop a spirit of boldness? You always got to be pushing forward and challenging yourself. And when you really read this book for what it's worth, whether it's pertaining to marriage, relationship, dealing with people, dealing with your brother, so ox, all this stuff. Let's see. The place you in. They place you. Yeah. Not to be enslaved by. All right, so yeah, hold on, y'all. Okay. So yeah, but yeah, it's I'm telling you, it's widespread, nothing new under the sun, and when you look around, um, you know, it comes down to people don't have that King David spirit. This society, when I say this society, I'm talking about the media. I'm talking about the workplaces. I'm talking about the schools, your family, your friends, the people around you. This society pushes the Ahab spirit hard on men, and it pushes a rebellious spirit on the women. Okay? A manly butch characterized, I'm an independent black woman spirit on these women. Okay? To the point where y'all seen the article I put up the other day. Y'all seen the article I put up there where that woman, she was a accomplished nurse making good money, but working 12-hour shifts, and of course she had the Gentile hairdo. You know, she had weave or something in her hair. You know, she wasn't wearing a natural hairstyle. She was fully assimilated into the Babylonian culture. She had fully eaten the Babylonian doctrine of, okay, woman, graduate high school, go to college, get empowered, independent, successful black woman who don't need no man up in, and she had totally ate all that poison, got her career, got her education, successful nurse. I already know they making more than me. And then what happened? She killed herself because she felt hopeless. Why? Because she couldn't meet a man. She wasn't gonna have a family. She realized she wasn't gonna have a family. She realized it wasn't going to happen. Okay? And it's sad. And when you look, black women are the new face of mental disorder, which is, or they didn't say mental disorder, mental health disorders, the new face of depression. Yeah, you go read the articles, and that came out a couple of years ago. These women are losing their mind because why? Black women are the most uncovered out there women. They come from broken families, and they're more vulnerable than the men out there. It's just book, and just think about it, like, and it needs to be spoken on, because when you look, man, if I could show you the scriptures and the chapters, the verses, but whole chapters directly related to women. Okay, I can't show you nothing warning you about men and heads up. No, it said there's no evil like the evil of a woman. Out of 1,000 men, find I one. Out of 1,000 women, find I none. All through the book, you see Satan. It's the women. Okay, and what I'm saying is, A man, the what the Bible is telling the man is that you got to stand firm in this biblical truth. Otherwise, if you don't stand firm, these women are going to be out here, they're going to be getting destroyed. And if you look at how they are destroying us as a people, it ain't through the gang violence. It ain't the black on black crime where we shooting each other. The cops is only destroying a fraction of us. HIV ain't even destroying that much of us. The main way they're killing us off is through abortion. The elephant in the room. 900 babies a day aborted. See? That's how they're destroying us. You're going to see a police shooting, maybe 3. Let's say it's, I don't know what it is. Maybe they're killing 3 or 4 black people by the shootings a day. And the gang violence, I don't know, 100 men a day are dying with black on black crime and gang violence. I don't know what the numbers are. I know when I looked at it, 900 innocent babies a day are getting aborted. And let me say this. That is, I lowered the estimate on it. It was actually, 50 or something. That was the average or whatever. That's the elephant in the room. Why ain't nobody speaking that? And why is that? Because you got pastors in Christianity pushing the abortion. There was one of them who had like an abortion clinic or something in Louisiana or whatever. But nobody speaks on that. And what is that a symptom of? Uncovered women. Men that ain't walking in boldness. Men who, because it took the men to make them babies, men who have no control over their spirit, over their lust, over their evil concupiscence. Because look, I'm not playing. I'm coming straight down the middle on this. Look here. It said, mortify, this Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. I'm going to just read again. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, from fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection. We went in and broke that down. But what's evil concupiscence or concupiscence? What is that? Well, I got it here. Strong sexual desire, lust. Okay? But you notice it didn't say mortify therefore your members from concupiscence. So it said evil concupiscence. So, for your wife, it's okay to have strong sexual desire and lust for her. That's your wife. Or wives. Okay? All right, hold on. Let's see. Somebody being a distraction. Like I said, we booting folks. I'm booting folks out of. Okay, somebody just being a slight distraction. But like I said, this is the last warning to you, Warren Burns. I could delete you so you can't even see the channel. So stop. Stay on topic. I don't know what you're in there doing, but you'll be thoroughly gone. You'll be big gone. So evil concupiscence. So understand what's evil concupiscence. When these dudes is out here running through stuff, molesting women and children or whatever, just lust out of control. And like I said, we're not blaming women. At the end of the day, the problem is the men. The men have to step up with a spirit of boldness and get their spirits right and really walk this thing out in spirit and truth. And not fall into the traps of this society regarding how they see and deal with women. We're not coming down on the women. These men are enabling the women. Okay? But on the same note, understand that the women ain't innocent. Y'all, they always play the innocent victim and all that. But look at that abortion rate. Y'all women is wicked as hell too. All right? So look. So let's continue on. All right. So it's telling you to mortify your members from this. And what I'm saying in this, like, a lot of men are timid, and we've been brainwashed by society to see women a certain way, and a lot of times, look, I'm getting ready to keep it real 100. A lot of times, then you start dealing with women from a goddess worship standpoint. What do I mean? Idolatry. You put them above what the word of the Most High. So you, even in men's approach to women, they get all nervous and they all, oh, well, I don't know, she's so beautiful and all that. And I'm like, I don't look at them all on a pedestal. Like, hey, she fine. Hey, but she a monster too, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? And the Most High says she made for me. So when I deal with her, when I start talking to her, that's how I'm approaching. So if you feeling this way about women, so, and this is how, and I did it in a more, I was dealing with women in a way that was not effective. I came into dealing with these women through a half-truth method. I'm giving you this is the whole truth method. If you put women on a pedestal emotionally, like a good looking woman, a real fine woman gives you the naughty tingles and you can't think straight. So this would be happening. That's why these women, that's why, let me show you what happened. I ain't even gonna show it to you. But on my Facebook feed, what I have to do on my Facebook feed is they got the thing at the top. I forget what it's called, but you can put a picture so you'll see it there. And what these women be doing is being there, like making these weird smile, like with a ton of makeup on, looking like Krusty the damn clown, hammers all in your face, like this, which is witchcraft. You throw all that daggone makeup on, put on some, and be like, Booker T, you know, and it's witchcraft because you scan. Like a lot of times I open up my Facebook feed and I see that, and you know what I do? Unfollow they butts. I don't see nothing else from them. Some of them I just delete them. Some of these women wearing it, oh, it's a skirt. Man, that thing, you can see every hip, dip, and curve on them. I delete them. Because that's witchcraft. Using your body as a divining rod and casting spell, and you can't help but see it. So I just delete them. But a lot of dudes, they get overtaken by that. That like, it grabs them. There's a whole bunch. But when there's when there's an attractive woman, I look at a woman. Oh, okay, she's attractive. Who's modestly dressed? I'm like, oh, she's attractive. Okay, boom, keep it moving. The woman in the world, okay, she's attractive, but then they want you to lust and get inordinate affection. And then they come up to you and you're like, and you get all nervous and all that. And if that's happening to you, you got to get to a place. You need spiritual growth. You got to develop spiritually. Some brothers got demons of lust, demons of timidity, demons of female worship. I'm telling you, these women out here are a barometer or whatever to show you where you at. Whether it's in marriage, whether you're not married, you're just kind of dealing with women out here and trying to figure things out. You know, what happens when you get around these women? Like, I got to a point where I realized, okay, you see some woman, makeup caked on, straight hair, wigged up, you know, tight skirt, and you glance over, boom, the naughty thing is like the first thing you can't help but see, you know, her butt going up and down like two pistons, you know. But now I've geared my mind up to a point where I'm like, you know what? That woman wicked as hell. And I don't even give it a second chance. Even some of the even like in some of the Hebrew communities. Oh, I got a daughter a Zion skirt on, but you could tell they ain't trying to cover up them big old hips that go out. They're not trying to drape something over that and smooths over that shape. You know what I'm saying? You could see, I could tell, and I already know. I'm like, dude, now because you're walking in the spirit, you got a biblical understanding. You're like, I'm not even entertaining that because that's gonna come with problems. You know, that's gonna like, and that comes with experience. And this is part of the thing of taking the woman off the pedestal of your mind, where you're worshiping them and putting the Most High on the pedestal of your mind. All right. It does not discriminate. All right. Bye-bye, Warren. You gone poof. You'll never see my channel again. Because now I could delete you all the way off the channel. Hide news. All right. Poof. He's gone. He can't even see our channel anymore. He in there posting stuff about ambulance medical symbols. So I thank y'all for showing me that feature. But yeah, you'll never see him again. And he'll never see us again. Poof! You're gone. He's gone. All right. Hey, yeah. I wasn't sure what he was posting about, Corey. So anyway, he's gone. I'm glad I discovered that new feature where I could delete people from ever seeing the Spiritual Combat channel again. So that's a good feature, and I like it. I like it a lot. Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Sister V's. It was awesome meeting you. And I know you and Koya had some awesome talk. But yeah, man, so kind of really narrowing what I'm saying now is you got a lot of, in developing the spirit of boldness, you got to challenge yourself. You got to push. You got to keep pushing diligently. When the Bible says diligently, hold on. I ain't gonna say it. Let me pull a scripture up. It says, Ecclesiasticus. This is in the book of Sirach. 27:3. It says, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. Okay? So you gotta diligently stick to this thing, and that is what it's gonna do, is develop a spirit of boldness. When you put this book in front of people, you know what I'm saying? Put the Most High Yah's word ahead of people, places, things. And people don't like it. You know? Oh, man, we known each other this long. We this, we that. Yeah, that's fine, but I'm doing this. You know? So you just, the woman will be like, so you just gonna blah, blah? Yep. Whatever. But strangely, when you do that to women, this weird thing happens called attraction. When you don't idolize them and you treat them the way God has wired them up to be treated. A strange thing called attraction happens. They get attracted to you when you don't worship them like mommy and you treat them like they were made for you. Is that, I'm just quoting book. But I'm telling you, Bishop Bootlicker don't like it. He gonna come up with some crazy and these men are treating a woman like they made for them. Yeah, that's what the book says. It says the man was not made for the woman, but the woman was made for the man. And that's the theme all through the book. And the other theme all through the book is Satan is always trying to twist that upside down. And a lot of men, they like the men most susceptible to that is timid, passive men who've been raised up by women. They wrestle with this. And their relationships are always disasters, because when they try to raise up a little bit, they get crushed out. So how you build that? What are ways to build that spirit of boldness? Is to constantly challenge yourself. That's something I always do. I'm always willing to challenge or push the limits or go against the grain on something. I don't care. And now it's kind of natural where I really don't care what people feel or think or anything like that. Money, all that stuff like that. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because when you realize what this book is really showing you, like the Bible is showing you how to navigate the minefield, this society, this life we live in, the marriages, relationships, people we deal with, work, job, decision making, all this stuff, it's minefield. It's set up to destroy you. And when you realize that the map to walk through and navigate through all these traps that have been set up for you by Satan in this life, when you realize that the word of Yah is a map to navigate through that without destroying yourself, that's when you're going to start diligently holding yourself in the fear of the Lord, like this book said. In marriages, relationships, what's being taught, what's being said, how you're dealing with people, how you're moving through stuff. So when you look at some of these doctrines these people are teaching out here, it totally goes against that. They're not even telling you, so what do I do? What's the answer? When have you ever seen anybody teaching lessons on, okay, I came into this truth and my wife is a monster. She's rebellious. She's this, that, and other. What do I do? 90 or more % of these ministries out here, they act like that doesn't even exist. Okay? Yeah. He's like a basic instruction before leaving Earth. Yeah. I heard that one before. So you gotta challenge yourself, and realize that, or you like to walk this Bible out in spirit and in truth, and really walk this thing out here, requires you to challenge. You're gonna go against the grain. It's gonna be challenging. Okay, so yeah, that's real talk. So, and then for women, you read through this same stuff that I'm saying here as a woman. You're like, well, how does that help me? When you look at the Bible and you see that it says, hey, this man that I get in this relationship with, I got to trust him in all things. Anything he says, I got to, he's going to be my leader. He's going to be over me in all things. It says, be obedient to this husband as unto the Lord. Now, doesn't that make picking, or finding a husband, it takes on a different light. It ain't, ooh, what do I feel about him today? You ain't going to be like that. Now you're going to be like, ooh, like, how does he make up his decisions on this? How's he doing? You're looking at every minute aspect of this man's personality and life and everything, But most women, when it comes to them meeting a man, they do more research on buying a car or buying a pocketbook. They'll take that into more consideration than meeting a husband. But when I tell you, okay, this man you getting ready to marry here, he's going to rule over you in all things. He's going to be your Lord. You know what I'm saying? And that's book. That's book. It tells a woman to be submitted to him in everything. Look, y'all think I'm playing? I'm gonna show, I'm gonna show it so nobody think I'm playing around. All right. It says, wives. This is Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord. For the husband is head of the wife, even as Christ is head of the church. So if you know that going into a relationship, aren't you going to do a little bit of research on who this dude is? Or are you going to say, let's see how I feel? Yeah, no, you're going to, you don't go buy a car. I ain't going to say that. Because a lot of women just buy, they buy a car because it's a certain color and it looks good. So I can't say that. But you shouldn't. You need to use your mind because women analyze everything. Well, you better analyze this dude before you start feeling some type of way about him. A lot of these women, they don't think that way. And they step on minds. Okay? Because folks ain't walking in the spirit of boldness. They just feeling their way through life. You see what I'm saying? So when you walk in the spirit of boldness, you're going to tell the woman, hey, look, you do understand that the Bible tells you to submit yourself unto me as unto the Lord. Well, and literally, I can tell you all these scriptures I read to you, I have watched people in the Hebrew community try to break these scriptures down and totally twist them to mean the opposite. Yes. I'm not playing. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, man, this is real talk. So you need to, like, particularly the men, like you don't just trip, fall, and be smashing something. You don't fall up into that thing. It don't just happen. It happens because emotions get involved. But with the spirit of boldness, you know what I'm saying? You could begin to walk in the spirit and begin to see, okay, I need to, it's more like a black or white, this or that. It's like, the way I put it is like Neo in the Matrix. You're no longer walking in your emotions. And it's not a sin to be emotional and feel some type of way. But when it's unrighteous, it becomes a sin. So look, but you walking according to the word. So when you got this understanding, when you learn, like one of the things I used to say is, man, I could weed out almost 99% of women without ever talking to them. 90% of the women I could just weed out by their appearance. Makeup caked on, fake hair. Like the makeup caked on, I'm like, okay, she's a witch. The fake hair, oh, that's going to be a lot of money dealing with her. She's going to be a financial burden, okay? And a health burden potentially, because that hair is unhealthy. So the fake hair, and then dressed like a harlot. So, I'm going to have to worry about her running around with other men and she all into herself and she ain't humble and she going to have problems submitting to this word and submitting to me. So literally, where one dude saying, ooh, I like to smash on that. Me, I'm like Neo. I'm like, okay, she's a witch with the fake makeup. That hair's too expensive. She gonna be half crazy because all them chemicals leaching into her big silly head, and she gonna be a harlot. She gonna like attention from other men. All right, delete. Like that's walking in the spirit with this thing as opposed to walking in the flesh. That's how I see women. Where you like you look, see her walk around in spandex or something, and you like doing naughty tingles. Me, I'm like weeding them out with that. They just weeded themselves out. And a lot of y'all women who walk around dressed like that, the good men, they don't even come in your radar because they see you from a distance and they don't even give you any attention because they know you trouble. Right off the bat. Oh, all I meet is dogs. That's because you got kibbles and bits all over you. You know what I'm saying? Take off them kibbles and bits and put on something righteous and you won't attract the dogs if you looking like dog food. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. So, yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, we don't even I ain't getting into the hair thing. I don't even, I ain't even, like, you run around with that hair on and that's your God, because I was under the impression, man, I thought, like, these women's hair stuff, like that weave and all that other crap they be getting done, I thought that cost like $50 or $60 to go to the hair place and get that junk done. No. Corey told me that junk cost like $150, $200. I was like, don't even talk to me. I was like, oh, I'm not talking. I'm like, dude, ain't no way you gonna be dumping that much money and be with me. Like, shoot, a couple of them hairdos, we could have had a new house or something, Oh yeah, man. Please don't tell me it's more than that, y'all. Cause y'all gonna make old Michael Israel get even more gray hairs. Yeah, man. So, but again, when you really begin to read this word and you see how just most people are just off, and most of what's being taught out there is just way off. I mean, a lot of times it shocks people with how contrary and opposite what's going on out here is against what the word is telling us to do. And in all of our lives, in my life, like, and I prayed for this, but I've also learned in my spiritual growth and in my personal growth and developing myself spiritually and in developing myself personality-wise and all this stuff, it all ties in. But when I pray for some growth, I ask for it in measure because there's times I pray for growth in areas and the Most High just, we put it on me. And now I'm like, hey, can you just put it on me in a steady, consistent way? And he does, in what I can deal with. But I'm constantly moving forward. There's stuff, it gets brought to my attention, and I move forward in it. Dang. Koya said, she said, I think women spend upwards of 500 to 1,000. What? No way. Are you freaking kidding? On what? On the weave? On the weave stuff? Or what? On braids? I just cut her head off. Like, you gonna rock a baldy. Cut her hair off, man. Me and we gonna rock the same hairstyle. We're gonna rock some fros and get some Posner's hair grease. Some Blue Magic hair grease and afros. What's that? $5.99, and that's all. That's our hairdo. That's what we gonna rock. His and her froze. Take a shower, rub that blue magic in there, and go get. Crazy. Wow, man. Dang, I didn't know that. $500 to $1,000. See? So, brothers, if you see a sister walking around with them weaves, run. Cause when she wink at you, be like, ooh, she want $1,000 from me, so she get that big dumb silly head looking crazy, looking like get some of that horsetail up in there. Wow, dude. Sister said she could make 1,000 in just a couple heads. It was crazy, and that wasn't even the cost of that. Oh man, I'm trying to stay focused, dude. I can't believe that. Put a head wrap. Yeah, just get a head wrap, and you don't gotta worry about your hair. Wow, is the book not set apart or what? Literally, if you put on a head wrap, what, a $10, $20? I'll let you get a silk head wrap. I'll be like, look, you could get any head wrap you want. I don't care how much it costs. you gonna have enough money to buy some land. Man, dude, you can't make this stuff up. But again, like I was saying, literally walking this book out and aligning your emotions to what this book says is literally going to give you an attractive spirit of boldness among women. It is. To where when you do get in a relationship, which I know now, you don't need to be out there hollering at chicks. Let it be arranged. But I'm telling you, develop your communication skills. That's what I was saying in my lesson yesterday. And we're going to get into that more in another lesson. But when I tell people, develop your communication skills so that when you do get in a relationship, you know how to properly communicate yourself and be comfortable in your own skin. I see a lot of men, for whatever reason, their communication is timid. They don't have good communication skills. And it's a reflection of things going on that need to be dealt with. That was the way I was. You know, a lot of times I get around. This is back way before I met Koya, and Koya can't believe this. Like, she don't even, and that's how I like when she says that, because it shows that, hey, I've truly changed and come a long way. But yeah, when I used to get around, you see dudes, they get around a girl, she fine or whatever, you be like, well, shucks, hey, or they go the other way, like, I really like you. They got that serial killer charm, and it's scary. It's and that's why I tell them, you gotta overcome and get that spirit of boldness and be able to communicate. And because to the women, that's a sign of weakness, and a woman is sensitive. And I can show you this all through the book, but a woman is sensitive and she's able to pick up on all your little micro behaviors, or whatever you want to say, non-congruent behavior, stuttering, all that stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying you got to be like me and talk like me. I mean, you just got to be yourself, though. Yeah, because I said stuttering and all that, some dudes, hey, that's just who they are. But being able to be yourself, because people could pick up on when you're trying to, especially women, and that you're trying to talk, when you're trying to kind of use tactics and whatever, and you're not just being yourself and being comfortable in your own skin. When you got an agenda and you're trying to steer things in some way, you know, they see that, and it's y'all thinking of it one way, but a lot of times these types of men will meet a woman who sees it, and she'll capitalize on it and get you, and then dominate you and manipulate you and this, that, and the other. Okay? But a lot of these same women, when they see a man who's solid and he's not going to be manipulated, and I'm telling you stuff I done experienced, okay, back when I was out in the world. You know, I ran into the women who, they were good women, and they realized that, you know, you're a real man, so they're attracted to that. But then I ran into the gold diggers, or to the strong, independent, I'ma dominate this man type women. Like, I'm an alpha woman type woman. And I'm just telling you, when I got into this and I realized, you know, who I was, I started walking this thing out in half truths, though. You know, I was still out in the world. But I'm gonna tell you, the easiest women to manipulate and sleep with and do all this stuff with and dog out were them strong, independent women, because they never ran into men who could go blow for blow and check them, this, that, and the other. And I'm just telling you, it was rare for them to run into a real alpha dude, and it wouldn't end good for them. They just end up getting taken advantage of, but it was a vicious cycle, because then after they realized that he was just there for the puss, and because a real alpha dude, a player, he's gonna stay with a kind of a more timid, submitted women. He's not gonna stay with some aggressive Jezebel type woman. He's gonna just dog her out and move on. And what it's gonna do is, it's a vicious cycle, because then that Jezebel type woman is gonna reinforce that spirit in her even more, make her worse, and she's gonna get concrete, and I'm not gonna let another man take advantage of me again. And she become even worse, and get even further from ever receiving this. And this is a lot of those women, and a lot of these women got damage on them. A lot of these women been raped or molested or something like that. That's why they just ain't gonna settle down with no man, this, that, and the other. But then they wrestling with their biological, with the way the Most High wired them up to desire to be in a relationship, to desire to have children and stuff like that. So there's all these conflicting emotions inside, and then that whole lesbian movement comes in, and they jump into that, and look at the statistics of that. In the relationship demographic that has the most domestic violence, physical violence, are them lesbian relationships. Yep, you can look that up. And then the second one that has the most are the homosexual ones. Then the heterosexual ones. Okay? That's real talk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Brother Rory said a woman who cannot submit freely to her husband is a woman that no longer trusts herself. Yeah. And the thing is, like we've been teaching here, and it shook things up there in the Hebrew community for a little while, where we were like, look, it's not the man's job to force or manipulate or make a woman submit and go back and forth and wrestle with her on that. Okay? If a woman calls herself a godly woman, she's gonna submit. And the only thing the man is, or one of the things the man is tasked to do in the Bible, is show her in the Word, teach her that if you're a woman of Yah, you will be obedient to me. Ephesians 5:22, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. And I'm just, excuse me, I'm looking at my little breakdown thing here. I got like, just on this one page file here, I got a ton of verses backing, excuse me, backing this up. Okay? So it's the man's job to show her that. It's the woman's job to work out her, at the end of the day, it's your job to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Okay? And then, but if you're married as the head, it's your job to show her that. But it's also, it's also the man's job to be a man, to behave in a way that creates attraction in a woman so that it's easy for the woman to call her husband master. I don't tell Coy to call me master. She goes out. She says it publicly, you know? And these, like these bootlicking bishops and these watered down, castrated men who are over these, who are doing these videos like, oh, he forces his wife to call him that, because in their reality, they cannot see that. Like, they don't understand that there's a whole different dynamic where a woman could respect a man. Like, it's not in, literally, it is not in their reality that things could be that way. Oh, they're acting. Because they don't, oh, they're forcing their wives to call them master. They don't, and then you see women, so-called women teachers up here saying, oh, he forces his wife to call him master and this, that, and the other. And that's because in their minds, these women, there's no way they could see their men like that. Like, he's never triggered those types of feelings in her like that, because they ain't that type of dude. But a real dude, a real soldier, a real biblically masculine man walking in the spirit of boldness, who a woman don't throw him off of his walk with Yah. He just walks on the path of the spirit of boldness. Man, he generates them types of feelings in a woman that I call the naughty tingles. You know what I'm saying? And that's 100. That's just keep it like and I'm going to go in and break that down even more. And all I'm doing is just breaking down what the scripture says in the life examples of what you see. You know what I'm saying? But when you're not walking in this, you're making it hard. Even a woman got a hard time. She's like, yes, master. You know? But when you that dude and you exude a spirit of boldness because you really walking in this thing, you walking in that King David, they be like, yes, a master. All right, master. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to go in too much, but so yeah. Yeah. And we're going to speak on the spirit. A lot of men, let me tell you this, man. Because that's real talk. A lot of y'all, man, that's a lot of this, and a lot of these dudes out here, man, they're trying to wrap their heads around this, and you've grown up in this. You have a spirit that needs to be, you need deliverance. There's a spirit of timidity. I don't know if that's a word, but there's an Ahab spirit on you. That's a word, okay? There is a spirit of weakness, a spirit of a lack of boldness on you, spirit of fear on you, where it's hard for you to even see this. Because I'm telling you, man, some of these people I've dealt with where, and this is the norm out there. This is the norm. Men raised in houses full of women. Like, some of the men that I've seen going through, and this is in counseling because spiritual combat was built on like relationship stuff. The men that I have seen have the worst relationship problems with women and marriage and just be divorced and just painful stuff. been suicidal and have suicided have been men that were raised by domineering mothers who had sisters that were older than them and all that stuff. Those have been the men that I've seen become homosexuals, have a strong spirit of lust and porn addiction, or I'm just naming the three things that I've seen, or have uh, marriage problems and just been divorced or just in just real brutal marriages. And because what they'll do, they had a domineering mother, so that they think that's the model of a woman to them, so they get a domineering wife. Let me tell you something else. The men that I couldn't growing up until I really got on this path, the men that I saw that which you might call were flawless naturals, the men that this area, because this is an area of your life, the men that I met that this area of their life was not an issue at all, where there were men that I met, like there was one dude I met, his mother died at an early age and his father raised him. And this dude, man, me and him just got along real good. He was in the Air Force. And it was like, I'd say stuff to him, it wouldn't bother him. He didn't really, nothing really threw him out of his reality. Nothing shook his reality. Oh, why are you doing that? Got him in that soft spirit. And I asked him, because I was like, yo, this dude was raised around a lot of men. And sure enough, I went up and I asked him, I was like, hey, so who were you raised by? I was like, you were raised around a lot of men. He was like, yeah. He's like, I got 2 older brothers, and my mother died at a young age, and my father raised me. I was like, okay. And I was like, how long you been married? Like 20 years. I was like, his wife cooks his food for him to bring to work every day. Married, he don't have marriage issues. His wife is fine as hell, because women are attracted to men who have strong reality, and what the Bible, it come right, man, when you read through the word, if you can internalize and take into your spirit what this book is saying and walk in this, I'm telling you. And you ain't gotta, you ain't gotta explain. When the women see you shaking and moving, women follow action. Women follow works. That's what they respond to. The way to communicate to a woman is through your works. I don't know. I hope I ain't rambling. I hope y'all get where I'm coming from. All right, let's see. Let's see. So yeah, that's what they it's about. I'm telling you, man, I be harping on footwork for a reason, man. Like, it's funny, like Robert Mathis. It's like, as I began to kind of see him, talk to him more, kind of, because up at the conference, I got a good witness on like how real that dude is, because he came up tough. And he came up in the streets. The dude wasn't no chump. Playing football with older people bigger than him on the pavement, tackle football with grown men while he was a kid. Like, that's some type of dude, and he is very works oriented. When I say he's told me before, he said, even when I gave him the mic, when he got up on the stage, he said, man, I ain't about that action boss, just like that one football player, that other dude. Brother Gideon, same thing. He came from he wasn't no sensitive dude. And a lot of people need to understand that. And like, that's a rare thing in this society. Brother Gideon came from the other aspect. It wasn't that he was overly sensitive and a soft, feminized dude. He came from the other angle, where which is very rare in this day and age. There were no emotions. Now he's beginning to get them back. And he's a good model from somebody who's a recovering simp to be around. I told him, like me, I like, Brother Gideon, me being a recovering simp, like back when I was 26, I was a simp dude, you know? And like, he like Gideon didn't realize just him being him teaches me a lot. Watching him. Me watching Pastor Dow and the way Pastor Dow moves. Just that example of just being around people like that is going to show you a lot. You just got to quiet your mind now. All that chitter chatter going on, you know. And I'm telling you, man, again, I'm going to say it again. Women are attracted, I ain't going to say attracted, but women watch works. Okay, women watch what you're doing. They don't, not what you're trying to show them. Is that good? Did I hit? I think that hit it right there. That's the key. They're looking at what you're doing, not what you're trying to show them. So that way, because they got to see who you really are, you know. And they respond. What I'm trying to say, they respond to that. So you got a lot of men trying to yell to women, "This the truth. We Israel. This we the truth." Boom, boom, boom. But I be telling these dudes who be going back and forth with their women on doctrine, when they see that change in you, when they see an Ahab, you delivered from the Ahab spirit, and they begin to see you walk in a King David spirit, they literally can't even resist that unless they got a strong Jezebel or a strong spirit of rebellion on them. They literally can't resist. And they still, even if they got a strong spirit of rebellion on them, they still are going to have, you're going to see a big response. It's still going to have a profound effect, man. Man, there's brothers I done try to tell this to, and now I won't even waste my time, man. And this is a while back. This is probably a couple months ago, man. I see it. It's like a lot of dudes, they don't want to, they have so much fear and they don't want to go through the pain and the discomfort of really becoming what they need to become. And it don't take a bunch of talk and explaining and all this. A lot of times, the real dudes is just sitting there quiet, chilling. With their wives, without them, wherever they're at. They just being them, being who they are. No, it ain't a bunch of talk and explaining and, it's just, hey, you know. And when a real dude run into another real dude, he recognized that, you know, and it ain't a thing. It ain't, you understand? So, I don't know if y'all understand. So, Brother Shane, he said, I see Jezebel from afar now. Yep. Hey, listen, let me tell you this. What is crazy? Because y'all, man, dudes don't get it, man. Women are so, when I say women are sensitive, I don't mean in a weak way. Like, they have heightened sense above what most men have. Dude, women they pick it up. They pick up whether you a real man or not. And like the brother said, man, they pick up whether you are, when you got a King David spirit, they see it and they shut up. Look at what happened when Elder Rufus went on that show. Them women didn't say a word. Man, they got radar for days. They know. They pick up on an alpha King David spirit. They see it. And they will shut the heck up. They know. I'm telling you, they don't mess with it, especially when they don't know you, but they detect that alpha spirit. Whew, But as soon as they see when the Ahab spirit, they all loud. They say, "Hey, you get over there, this, that, and the other." And and what I'm saying there, I could show you some real world examples, but it was back before I got in the truth, so I ain't gonna bring that up. So I ain't gonna worry about that. But yeah, man, that's real talk. So this is why, and you know, man, let me say that, like, when you a man and you begin walking in a spirit of boldness, and you walk in what this Bible tells you to be as a man, and you start walking in that and begin to walk in it, and it becomes you. So it's not, okay, I'm trying to be this Hebrew super macho boy. No, when you internalize it and you get it, like, and it's just who you are, they get it. They get it. Because a lot of dudes think attraction, look, a lot of people think attraction is being, 6'4" and handsome and all this stuff. Man, dude, that might work a little, but attraction is created by having a spirit of boldness, and truly walking this word out as this Bible lays out to be a man. You're going to get a woman and she just going to be into you. Period. Yeah, man. So, yeah. So, yeah. Trust me. Looks, man, it ain't nothing. It's having that spirit of boldness, because women are attracted to men. Trust me. All right? And Corey said, not according to the flesh, but according to the spirit. Yeah. So if you got this soft Ahab spirit, yeah, you might get a woman, but it's going to be rocky. It's going to be rocky. Prepare for the rough ride. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, yeah, y'all. Let's see what we got going here. All right. But anyway, yeah. I'm just coming back from Atlanta, so I didn't really have, my lesson all written out in detail. I just knew I was gonna, just by the request of brother yesterday and a bunch of other people and some stuff I see that is going on. Some people I know. I'm gonna focus in on this area here, because marriage, relationship, it's when you really look at what the Bible's saying and what's going on out here in society, it's perfection. It's a trial by fire. It burns impurities off you a lot. That's what marriage does in becoming a biblically masculine man and aligning yourself with these scriptures. When you get in a relationship, it forces, it pushes you in the same direction. That's why I don't get some of the stuff I see some of these ministries out here saying and teaching. I'm like, what the heck are they talking about? And it's because it's so uncomfortable for them to really come to terms with how this Bible is telling them to change. It's so uncomfortable for them that, they twist the doctrine to accommodate their weak Ahab spirits, or to accommodate their rebellious Jezebel spirits. They twist stuff. They say it's this and it's not that. And then what do you got? You got a bunch of men. They can't bear fruit. The fruit that their silly doctrines ends up breeding is just relationship dysfunction. That's the fruit that these weak, feminized doctrines that these people teach breeds. But the sound doctrine is gonna yield righteous fruits in your relationship. Your relationships will get better. Everybody will grow. If they don't grow, you keep it moving. But a lot of people don't have the boldness to come to terms with that reality. But Kabir did. He left. Yeah. He went against the grain, you know. So it's like what we're saying isn't fairy tale. Okay, what they're teaching, these watered down doctrine, that's all fairy tale feel good stuff. But you smash into reality when you begin walking in that stuff and you have marriage problems and just all types of issues in life. Somebody put, when I was 18, I was way bold, uh, but with the spirit of lust. I thought simping would get me a wife, Brother Mike. Without the word in my heart, Ahab was really on me. Yeah. If you ain't got, hey, look, if you don't have this word in you, the women are going to overpower you. That's why you see, I mean, like if you really not diligently adhering to what this book says, children will be your oppressors and your women will rule over you. They're going to get over you. So if you fall out of the chain of command that's been laid out, that the head of Christ is Yah, the head of man is Christ, the head of the woman is the man. Like if you fall out of that, she's gonna rule over you, dude. That's what you see in the Hebrew community right now, the so-called Hebrew community. It's all messy and upside down. So yeah, y'all. And I know I got off to a slow start in this lesson, but this is kind of this is the foundational grassroots of spiritual combat. Is these types of teaching, you know? So we're gonna be banging on this a lot more. Yeah, man. Yeah, we giving out a mess, but that's why, like, oh, everybody want to be like, oh, Michael, why you like, listen, I done got phone calls on me pushing the multiple wives things, and one of the things that I was pushing on real hard is how nobody holds these women accountable. A woman who professes to be a woman of Yah is gonna obey her husband as the Lord, so that if any are not doing according to the word, you will win him by that behavior. This is not going on out here. And you see these women who get on social media teaching, doing videos, this, that, and the other. And just the whole subliminal setup is wicked and witchcraft as hell. You just showing a bad model. A quiet, shamefaced woman. What is that? Or a big mouth, well, I could talk. God gifted me with talking and running my big ass mouth. No. Go get that damn demon of Jezebel cast off you. Let's get that demon of rebelliousness and witchcraft off you, so you ain't misleading the masses. That's what I'm saying. So when we start banging in on something like that, all hell break loose. It's like, dang. Well, yeah, it's like you gotta, man. This ain't no game. It said what does diligently mean? All right, what is diligently? Let's see, diligent. All right, let's pull up that definition. Having or showing care and consciousness in one's works and duties. So you know, when I say attention to detail when it comes to the Torah, you know, and people ain't even remotely adhering to Torah. I mean, like I said, y'all, when you start dealing with our Hebrew community, you find out that people won't even honor what they say they're gonna do. I ain't gonna get on that, but y'all know what I'm saying. So naturally, their marriages and their relationships and everything they're doing is gonna be sloppy. Okay. When you, like, I I don't like ambiguity. I don't like abstract communication. I like direct, straight to the point, this, that, and the other. I don't, I don't tolerate a bunch of gray areas. So when you're moving like that, a lot people who are full of it, people who ain't gonna be diligent, they don't want to be around that. They'll get away quick. They ain't gonna be in you. They ain't gonna be around you. All right, so yeah, he posted the verse. She posted the verse. Sirach 26:15. Shamefaced and faithful women is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. And I mean, literally one scripture like that. I'm gonna pull it up here on the board for y'all. Literally one scripture like that. There's so much in there, and it's like, dude, this scripture right here weeds out and exposes so much that I see going on out there. So look. Oh, that's fair. Okay, and this is the KJV one of it. Look, a shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. Okay, so this word continent, the way they use it here, is heavy. Like this is what makes that verse even heavier. And the funny thing is, it's kind of hard to get the definition sometimes of that, what that word means, because the first couple definitions are going to talk about a map, but their implied meaning of that word is this. It says exercising or characterized by restraint in relation to desires or passions. Okay? So you can literally look on social media and watch women who don't know how to restrain their passions. They run their big mouths as soon as their demon orders them to, that they are in covenant with. Okay? They're not quiet. I mean, don't we know what quiet means? It says a shamefaced, faithful woman. There's one where it says a quiet, but what's shamefaced? Is it sugary, subliminal, manipulative, buttery speech, which is guile? No. It's humility. So look, but let me show you something else. Hold on. All right. All right. Look. Because I said, the reason I'm putting this up here is because I said a quiet shame face and it didn't say that. But look, isn't this the same chapter? Hold on. One verse before it. It says a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Okay? So, when I look at some of these women that I see on social media trying to put on a buttery, sugary, sweet, righteous role, I'm telling you, man, the book just exposed you. The book cuts you. But nobody want to be in them verses. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to be. And then when you do, oh, they so evil. Oh, how, like I said, rebuke, correction is a new sin. God, you attack. How could you attack? You hear how they regard it as attacks and insult and this, that, because correction is grievous to fools. Okay? There are a lot of fools on social media. All right? Let's was grievous. I'm just trying to keep it basic. To cause to suffer distress. It's a correct. The proverb says correction is grievous to fools. And as a nation, we're talking to black folk out here. Because I'm telling you, I'm in the military. I work with all nations in there for years. And I work in areas where, in situations where, like when you tell somebody something, they gotta be hanging on your every letter in the word you're saying. That's why you hear me say attention to detail, because we're working on landing gear on airplanes where when you're servicing up the landing gear, if you get the PSI off or you put a link in wrong and one little minute difference, and the plane could land and crash off the runway. And some of these airplanes carry 30-something people on as their air crews, military. So one little thing that's off, and that plane's going to crash and kill a bunch of people. So for years, I've dealt with our people and other nations. And that I've seen this Deuteronomy spirit on our people. On me. A good chunk of my military career was such a burden because I was so damn hard-headed. People couldn't tell me nothing. And in the military, they got a system set up that if you hard-headed, oh man, they got a beautiful system set up to make your life hell. And on the work aspect in the military, for a good chunk, they either break you or bend you or something. But you're just gonna do it to yourself till you like, at some point, you're gonna be like, damn, it's me. And that's what happened. Otherwise, I'm gonna mess a plane up. They will have you, if you don't listen, they will have you sweeping up pigeon doo-doo out of the hangar every damn day in front of everybody. And everybody gonna be like, yeah, he's a hard-headed dummy. And you know that you sitting there like, what is wrong with me? You think I'm playing. Oh yeah. And then if you don't respond to that, they put you on hangar pigeon doo-doo patrol. Then if that don't work, they got other stuff where it's even more, So, but I said all that to say this. In all my years in the military, eventually it clicked, and I realized I was one of those people. I was hard-headed. And then as I came out of it and began to learn to take instruction, and that, that's life. Life is following instruction, doing what you're told. So then, as I grew, and then I became the trainer of people and the leader of people and stuff like that, I began to see our people. I began to see other nations. I began to see the Asians and all these other nations. And everybody else knew I was following instruction about our people rebelled against authority all the time. Folks didn't want me telling them what to do. Our people, and a lot of it was fatherless people. But I saw that. I began to see that pattern, and then eventually I came into the truth. And yeah, but it's real. There's a spirit on us. There is. But that's real. Like, I've seen it for real, firsthand. We got curses on us. We do. As a nation, as a race, and it ain't, it's like, it can be painful breaking that, but what I'm trying to say is, I've seen that spirit of rebellion, and it's is heavy in the Hebrew community, and people don't even see it on them. Like, and what blocks you from seeing it on you? Pride. All the stuff I teach, this stuff I've been teaching about women and your role, the women's role and the men's role. Pride will stop you from seeing. No, I'm holier than that. I listen. I'll tell you, sometimes I catch myself and I gotta, yeah. So this is widespread, okay, as a nation. And we are not going to come together in any meaningful way till people humble down. But there's a lot of Hebrews. That's why they can't even keep their word. Something as simple and elementary and as Torah basic as just be honoring your word, as taking correction. Like, when somebody puts out biblical correction, it's, yeah, but he said it mean. You know, hey, don't go to basic training then. Don't go to basic training. Look, I did tie my shoe. That's what you're gonna tell the drill sergeant. And no, you're gonna be like, sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. You don't care what he says. Sir, yes, sir. Now get over there and do 20 push-ups. But sir, I could only do 19. Yeah, go tell him that. He ain't gonna do that. A lot of us need to get in the right mindset. Like I said, I still see we in the early stages of awakening. And one last thing is, like I tell people, man, if we were ever in a crisis situation, man, a lot of Hebrews will get so-called will get killed off because they don't listen, they don't shimmer, they don't hearken. So yeah, man. But anyway, developing a spirit of boldness in doing what I'm saying, in sitting there, being able to, like what I have had to do a lot in the military and working on airplanes is sit there and develop a spirit of boldness. One of the ways I do it is, like, I got supervisors and people who will come at me in a disrespectful, talking down to you tone and tell you to do something and it be wrong. And you know what I do? If it's not a safety of flight issue, it's not going to cause somebody to get hurt, I go do it. I won't even talk back. I'm like, yes, sir. And I'm telling you what happens every time. They tell me to go do something. I know it's wrong, but I go do it anyway. Boom. I do it. And I'll be in the middle of doing it. You know what? I'm sorry about that, Mike. That was wrong. I appreciate you not. Boom. And they get a, newfound respect. Like that story Kabir tells where he said, you were right, but you were wrong. Like they told him, they called some play and Kabir realized it was the wrong play for that situation or whatever it was. So he went and did what was right according to that situation. But actually, I think they were putting up, they put up, I guess, a deceptive line set up for the in the football game to make them think it was something. So the correct play was actually called. So basically, Kabir was just saying the coach told him you were right, but you were wrong because you didn't follow your leadership. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I hope y'all got that. That was just some rambling for them. But anyway, yeah, with that said, man, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this Shabbat. I'm going to lay down, I'm going to relax and get rested, get edified, listen to the word, and study, enjoy the family, and truly Shabbat this up. I'm just looking for the song. All right, y'all bear with me. I'm gonna take you out with a song from my beloved Daoud that I had I had the honor fellowshipping with. He met the rest of the saints out there. A lot of other saints got to finally meet him in person. But yeah, man, what I'm gonna do is take it out with one of my favorite songs. Well, yeah. I'm gonna take it out with Transparent. That's one of my favorites right now. And this brother, he got hundreds of songs out there. I'm just combing through them as I move. But anyway, with that said, we're gonna take it out with a song. It's called Transparent. Let's see. All right. And y'all just bear with it. All right. So anyway, with that said, y'all, appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm Michael Israel, Spiritual Combat. Shalom.
Burn them up, miss. That coach. For you. On you who I'll bet my life. Won't toast my paradise. I'm I ain't nice. Subtract falsehood advice. You who eventually seeing through, y'all. That rule got me seeing through, y'all. Ain't like I'm doing something to y'all. You who got me seeing through, y'all. You who eventually seeing through, y'all. That rule got me seeing through, y'all. Ain't like I'm doing something to y'all. You who got me seeing through, y'all. Yeah. Family business ain't no greed in me. Mr. Clark, my brother lean on me. I lean back, but it ain't no dance. Make appeals, but it ain't no Zans. Feeling okay, I'm so grand. Keep in mind, only got two hands. Never label in advance. Don't call a friend until you prove that man. A little time, all you need. If it's genuine, it shows. Vampires play a role. In the light, get exposed. Transparent up against that law. Brothers hide it like no one saw. Yahuwah eyes never miss your acts. One day you gotta pay that tax. Fairy tales, you can clean that mess. Toward keeping me at my best. If you hate a brother so, he will never stop the show. What's it like to some love? Especially from above. Mighty talk where you learn that at. Man, I'm perfect, never burn a batch. Yahuwah word, that's all for me. Everything else so bored. Life in me, what y'all store. This English sound foreign, yeah. Righteous point of view, pray they see it too, yeah. Make no excuse, stand on my two. Won't toast my paradise. I'm I ain't nice. Subtract falsehood advice. You who eventually seeing through, y'all. That rule got me seeing through, y'all. Ain't like I'm doing something to y'all. You who got me seeing through, y'all. You who eventually seeing through, y'all. That rule got me seeing through, y'all. Ain't like I'm doing something to y'all. You who got me seeing through.